Hello and welcome. Today's project is all about the health anxiety sufferer's day from morning until night. What it's actually like. So I recommend that you give this video to someone who doesn't understand what you're going through. Or maybe you know someone suffering from health anxiety. Give this video to them. It'll help them understand what is happening. Because when I used to suffer from health anxiety, I didn't know I had health anxiety. I was fixated on my sensations, thinking they are this illness. This is a threat to my life, continuously, day in and day out. And because I was feeling all of these sensations, I wasn't tackling the root cause, but I was misinterpreting the sensations as something else, and thus I was never healing from it fully because, I wasn't tackling the anxiety, I was tackling the labels that I've put upon my anxiety. So, for example, anxiety produces a wide range of sensations: body aches, body pains, sweating, perspiration, nausea, dizziness, disassociation, so much. Heart palpitations, hyperventilation, the list goes on. And it's easy to misinterpret those. And that misinterpretation leads the person into more possibilities, and it leads them down to a bad road. Because now they're grasping at these things in the air of, it could be cancer, it could be disease, but they're not tackling, okay, let's look at the anxiety itself. What are you ignoring in your unconscious mind that you need to resolve and pay attention to? And really, that label of health anxiety is really important. It was important for me when I was suffering, because that label, it brought me back into some known territory. Because health anxiety, suffering from that, it's so much unknown, it's too overwhelming. The best way to look at health anxiety is to look at it like there's an axe murder. You think there's an axe murderer outside the door, but the axe murderer is not there and they never come in. And that's a great way of looking at it. I always thought that I had this disease, I had kidney disease, I had urinary tract infection, I had this, I had that. But those were never there. I went to the doctor, got checked out, wasn't those things. But I still felt those sensations. Yeah, that's because my anxiety system was continuously running. Not good over a long period of time. So let's dive into health anxiety. Health anxiety is the constant obsession, the constant rumination over your health. And like I said before, many people, they don't know they have health anxiety. They think it's cancer, they think it's this, they think they have a problem with this. Little do they know their stress system is just cranked up to a level 10. So let's start at night, because that nighttime chaos sets the momentum for the health anxiety sufferer's day. When you are falling into a deep sleep, the doors to your unconscious mind start to open up. It starts to open up. And what happens when it starts to open up? All of your fears, all of your insecurities start to bubble up to the surface. Your to-do lists, your inadequacies, the fear over a certain sensation, the fear of not getting enough sleep, the fear of making a fool, out of yourself the next day at work. All of this comes up and it wakes you back up. And now you're up, you're awake. It's 2 a.m. You're awake most of the night. And you wake up your partner. You keep your partner up. You go down for a snack, which is not a good idea because you don't want to snack at night. It'll just fuel you even more. And, that's not a great coping strategy at all. And so you're up, you're walking around, and you're going over these what if thoughts. What if I don't get enough sleep? What if I'm too tired to go into work tomorrow? What if I have that panic attack tomorrow at work? What if I experience this tomorrow? Oh my God, how am I going to get through the day? There's so much going on. And your right hemisphere is projecting all of the images of you being clumsy at work, you having a panic attack, you confronting your fears and running away. And it is so much happening that by the morning, when you get those 2 hours of sleep, because usually after a while, the health anxiety sufferer gets so exhausted from that, they fall into sleep, they wake up, and instantly they say, oh no, here we go. There we go. Those thoughts set the tone for the day. Oh, here we go. They drag themselves out of bed. They don't even make their bed sometimes. Like my old self, I wouldn't touch the bed. I would get up at a time where I wouldn't give myself enough time to get myself ready in the morning. I would get up, drag myself to the washroom. I'd have to do things quickly so I could get out the door and go to work or school, whatever it was. But then I would drag myself to the bathroom. I would check in on myself after waking. Oh, is the sensation still there? How am I feeling? Oh no, I can't go to work like this. Oh, I can't go to that social gathering like this. Oh no. And then I would check my body parts in the mirror sometimes, like my face, the mole that I was curious about. But usually, this is a big one. When I go pee, I would check my pee. And one time, I thought I was peeing blood. I wasn't. The axe murderer wasn't there. But in my mind, that murderer was there. I looked into the toilet. I thought I saw blood. I wasn't getting enough sleep. I was hallucinating to some degree. And then I went to my parents and then I said, hey, I thought I saw blood. What am I going to do? How am I going to go to work? This is more important than going to work. I can't go to work. Yeah, it's exhausting. I'm sure you can already feel how exhausting this is. And we're not even into the morning yet, right? This is only the very beginning. And so, yeah, you go downstairs, you just shovel in any food that you can. And usually I wasn't even hungry. It was hard for me to even eat. And I wasn't even eating the right foods too that was healthy for my body. And then, I'd have coffee, not even that. I would just be so sensitive to that, I would avoid it. And I would go into the car and I would drive to work thinking, oh my God, how am I going to do this? Checking in on my sensations, fixated over how I was feeling. And that's the momentum that and the tone of the day set up by you or by my old self. Not a great way to start off the day. And I already hit my wall. That morning, before I even got in the car, bam, I already hit that wall. I can't do this. That was my mindset. I can't do this. And I'm shrinking my world smaller and smaller by thinking this way, because I'm projecting the worst case scenarios. I'm projecting myself not being able to handle those situations. I'm getting the reassurance from my family. I'm shrinking my capabilities smaller and smaller. I can't do this. And of course, if you think that, you're not going to do it. You're already setting yourself up for that failure. And that's why it's so easy and quick for a health anxiety sufferer to shrink their world down smaller, because they're stacking up all of these negatives on top of one another, of why they can't go to work, why they have to stay home, the sensations, and building up the emotional responses to each one of those sensations. Yeah, they're stacking so much negative emotion onto their day-to-day that eventually they are not even going to be able to leave their home. And at that point, they're going to be like, well, I'm at home in my safe zone. Why am I still anxious? Why am I still panicking? Why am I still... That's because you can't run away from what's in your unconscious mind. You can't run away from your past. You can't run away from you. That's why during their anxiety recovery process, you have to take all of those stones and turn them over and see what's underneath. That's not an easy thing to do, but it's necessary to heal. Now let's go into the work day part of the health anxiety sufferer. They get to work. They spend a lot of time in the car. They don't want to go inside the building. They want to walk around the building. They're procrastinating. Now what happens when they get inside is they don't want to talk to anybody. I didn't want to talk to anybody. I gave one-word answers. Nobody. I remember doing those one-word answers and getting the feeling that these people were just bored of me. Like, I'm not interested in them. And they didn't want to talk to me. And I felt like, oh man, I feel like they know what's happening. I feel like I'm being watched. I feel like I'm being judged. And yeah, you do feel like that. When I'm at work, also what would happen is when I would feel anxious, I would phone my partner or I'd phone the doctor. I just needed that reassurance. Can I do this? Should I leave? What am I going to do? Yeah, and then I'll Google my symptoms. I'll go on Google and I would search up my symptom, and then that would lead me into another Google search, and that would lead me into more anxiety. Because what happens when you Google is that Google is like a portal to many more possibilities. Oh, I could have cancer. Because the sensation I feel is similar to the symptoms on Google. But what's interesting about Google is that one sensation could mean 100 actual illnesses on Google. So you're just opening a door to like all of these potential illnesses, and you're going to latch onto them because you already have this image in your mind that you are unhealthy and that you're sick. And well, what else could it be? If Google says the sensation is this disease, well, I must have that thing. Because remember, you might not even know what health anxiety is. The fact that you're on Google is a sign that you're problem solving. Right? The fact that you're obsessing over your illness is that you're problem solving. You're trying to figure out what all of this means. What is happening? And so much of the health anxiety sufferer's day is of coping. They're up here tackling these layers where they should be down here tackling their body, right? The underlying concerns that are producing the anxiety, the traumas, the lifestyle choices they made, the habits they're doing. They need to sacrifice certain habits and introduce new habits to calm their system down. They need to calm their system down. They need to calm their anxiety down. And that's what I talk about on this channel a lot, is you need to introduce new habits and sacrifice a good chunk of your old ones. And I certainly had to do that with me. I had to slow everything down and get my priorities straight, because what you pay attention to the most determines what you value. So what are you paying attention to the most? Are you paying attention to the symptoms the most? Okay, that's a sign you have anxiety, because the fact that you're visualizing the symptom in your mind, that you're laser focused on the symptom and you're obsessing over it, means that your anxiety system is active. Because to get your anxiety system active, you need to encounter an obstacle. And the symptom and the sensation is an obstacle towards living that whatever kind of lifestyle you imagine, or living that lifestyle you used to have when you didn't have the symptom, right? Because that symptom, that's an obstacle. Well, how do we solve that obstacle? Well, and then they do all of these coping strategies, you understand. Also at work, I went to the bathroom a lot. I peed a lot. I thought drinking a lot of water would flush out anything I would have internally. And then whenever I'd go to the bathroom, I'd pay attention to my urine, and I would be like, oh my God, is my urine okay? Does it smell okay? What is it like? And then at work, I would feel awkward. I would avoid social situations. I would feel like people are judging me. And I would just try and be as hidden as possible. And then when you leave work, mind you that the health anxiety sufferer wants to leave ASAP, as soon as possible. They might even leave early. They might even give an excuse to get out of there. And I did sometimes. On your way back home, you're starting to feel better because, okay, I'm in my safe zone. I'm going back to my safe zone. This is going to be great. I get to go home. I get to talk to my partner. I get to watch TV. I get to just be there. The anxiety sufferer will complain to their partner, to their family about their day. And then they'll start to ruminate over the next day when it gets close to their bedtime. They'll start to project images of, what if I can't sleep? What if I have a panic attack tomorrow? And then the same thoughts accumulate. And that's pretty much the day of a health anxiety sufferer. If I've missed anything in this video that I didn't touch on and that you go through, please leave it below. Please leave that below. But I hope that this video has opened you up to what the experience is actually like for someone going through this. You might not be going through it, but now you understand what someone else is going through. Or you might be going through it and it has opened the door of, oh my God, this is health anxiety, not a real illness. And this is really important. I'll leave a link below and above to a video that describes the first step in the anxiety recovery journey. Really important, because this, now that you know it's health anxiety, what is the first step? That's where I'm going to leave you. Rise above anxiety. I will see you on the next video. Bye for now. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and that bell so that whenever a new video of mine appears, you will be one of the first to know. Namaste.